what's interesting about this in the context of our relationship is just we recently had lunch with our mutual friend, your much closer friend, Joyce Carol Oates, and we were talking about Robert Sapolsky's book on free will, and free will, as he sees it, it kind of depends on this idea that we could go back and act differently. So it's interesting that it's coming up here again.
No, for Nietzsche, it isn't like that. He's not against freedom. But his view of freedom is very different from the current view of, that says that you're free only if you had been able to do something else at the time. He doesn't think he's a determinist in that sense. He doesn't think every decision that I made at the time that I made either for good reasons or for bad reasons that I thought were good. If I were to go back, I would make the same decision. So what freedom is for Nietzsche is something very different. It's a view of freedom that comes down from the Stoics in ancient philosophy and Plotinus. Spinoza has something like that. And the idea is freedom is the ability to be self-directed, to be autonomous, so that the causes of your behavior are not from the outside. They're from you. And how do you do that? Well, you do that, he says, it doesn't tell us exactly how to do it, but he gives us examples of when it happens. And his paradigm, interestingly enough, is art. When he says an artist does everything of necessity, that's when the moment of the greatest freedom comes. What does he mean by that? Suppose I'm a young painter and I want to develop a style. Well, I copy a bit of Velázquez, and I copy a bit of Manet, and I copy a bit of Rembrandt, and I try to learn how to put those things together, and suppose that I'm lucky enough and talented and this and that and the other, and I develop my own style. Before I develop my style, I say, look, how did Rembrandt do that? And I articulate how he did it. When I develop my own style, I don't ask that question anymore. It comes naturally. It becomes who I am, rather than who I'm trying to be. Mm-hmm. And for him, freedom, as he puts it, is when necessity and freedom become one.